What's up guys? I hope you're all having an awesome day so far. Welcome to another video on how to set fitness goals and how to actually achieve them. So in this video, I want to talk to you guys about how to actually set fitness goals properly so that you can actually achieve them in a step-by-step guide. I see a lot of people and they kind of just don't really have any structure or any purpose when they're going into the gym. And it's really important for you, if you want to achieve a specific fitness goal, then you need to know how to set goals properly so that you're not setting yourself up for failure when you go to set those goals. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So it's really important for you guys to set goals properly, because in my own personal experience with this, before I became a personal trainer, when I was just kind of in my beginning phase of getting into fitness and I didn't really know what I was doing, I kind of just started out without really any purpose. Okay, maybe my goal was to gain muscle, I wanted to get jacked and I wanted to get in shape. But I didn't have any structure, I didn't have any clear goals or milestones to work towards, and I also didn't have any small steps to break those big goals down into so that I could actually achieve that big goal. And basically, I see a lot of people when they're trying to achieve a goal or when they want to achieve a specific goal, they don't have clear action steps in place and they don't have clear goals to work towards, which is why it's super important that you do set those goals so you're not setting yourself up for kind of wandering and not achieving the results that you want. So a quick personal story of mine, when it came to setting goals and really just achieving any fitness goal I was looking to actually achieve, in the beginning of my journey, I didn't really have any fitness goal. And I mean, my overall goal was, I want to get in shape, I want to get jacked, I want to become muscular and so forth, but I didn't really have any means or any method to break it down into its counterparts where I could do it step by step and I could see the progress along the way and set it up in a way that I had clear milestones to work towards and then hit those goals with pretty with like 100% accuracy or near 100% accuracy. And from my own personal experience, once I started setting proper goals to work towards, that was really when my results started to come through. So for example, one of the goals that I had when I was became a personal trainer initially, I got qualified and I did also nutrition certifications. One of the first goals that I had in mind was I wanted to get really muscular. I wanted to put on a lot of muscle and I wanted to do it in the course of a year. And I basically went from 83 kilograms to 110. Now, obviously not all of that was muscle. Fat came with that process. A lot of different things happened during that process, but I wanted to bulk up and I wanted to put on more muscle because I had been seemingly, or in my perception, was skinny for a while and I really wanted to start putting on muscle. And so I set out specifically to try and gain muscle over the course of a year. Now, what does that mean in terms of this specific video and how does it apply to you? So the reason I share that is that I had a specific goal that I wanted to achieve. I wanted to put on, I didn't have a necessary number in place, but I wanted to, over the course of a year, I wanted to put on as much muscle as possible and then start to trim that away at the end and start to get more lean, which is what I'm also doing now. And basically, by me having that goal in place, it meant that I could start to break it down into certain steps and certain action steps that I needed to take to achieve the overall goal. So for you guys, how is that going to relate to you? This is the first step in the process, is to understand and define what it is that you want to do. So one of the first mistakes that I made when it came even to that goal that I set regarding trying to put on as much muscle as possible is that I didn't have a specific number in mind. And when it comes to the actual goal itself, it's good to have a metric to go by. And it's important also at the same time to not get too caught up in the numbers when you do go to achieve that goal. But you should have some kind of metric in mind. Say, for example, you want to gain 10 kilos of muscle over 3 months or 6 months. And that's quite doable as well. But having these metrics in mind also gives you a deadline and it gives you something to work towards so that you can start to break it down into its smaller steps. So the first step in achieving your fitness goal and setting that goal up for success is to set a SMART goal. I like to use this system specifically in the fitness realm because it's just a good system to go by. And basically what that means is you want to set a specific, a measurable, an attainable or achievable goal, a relevant goal, and a time-bound goal. So these are all bundled into one. So for example, that could be you want to gain 10 kilos of muscle in 3 months, and by that time that's your deadline. So it's specific because you're setting up a very specific number that you want to achieve, right? And you're setting up a measurable goal so you can actually measure it over time. You're setting up something that's achievable as well. There's no point setting up a goal that you cannot achieve. And especially if you're going to have to go to giant extremes to get that, I always recommend a sustainable approach when it comes to achieving any fitness goal. So it's very, very important that you have that in mind when you are setting a goal. Now, it's also relevant. So relevant meaning that it's relevant to what you want to be doing. It's a realistic goal as well. You don't have to, jump through hoops to get it or go to certain extremes. And it's also time bound because you've set a deadline on it. So you want to do that in 3 months. So the next step in the process towards achieving your fitness goal is to actually take a look at where you're at. Take a step back and observe, where are you in this whole realm? Where are you in life? What is your current circumstances? Where are you starting from? Are you a beginner in the gym? Have you been going to the gym for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Have a look at where you currently are at in life. Do you have kids? Are you single? Do you have a relationship? All these different things will play a role in your starting point. And also when it comes to setting the goal, it's very important that you have these types of factors in mind. So that when you set the goal, you've got all these factors in mind and you have a good place to start from so you can be consistent with the goal. You can be consistent with executing consistently and being able to achieve that over the course of whatever the goal period is, or whenever the specific period of time you have allowed yourself to achieve that goal. And one other thing that I would mention with that too is to also take a look at your current fitness status. Some people that I see when they are trying to go out and achieve a specific fitness goal is that they haven't maybe been to the gym in like 10 years, 5, 10 years, whatever it might be. They've been very inactive. Maybe they've got some kind of life situation that's changed. Maybe they picked up a job that's very demanding and they kind of just let fitness fall by the wayside. Maybe they've gotten some kids. Maybe they are a busy entrepreneur and they work long hours and they find it difficult to prioritize their time. And basically these types of things will play a role when it comes to setting that fitness goal. So make sure you're keeping these things in mind when you are setting that fitness goal, and that will also help you to set up a realistic goal. That's why it's also in there too. It's realistic and relevant for you so that you can stay consistent with that goal that you're going to set, and it all factors in your lifestyle. So now that you've set your goal, you want to break your long-term goal down into short-term goals and short-term milestones that you can achieve and complete along the way. So say for example, you want to lose 10 kilograms over the next 3 months, which is quite doable. What you would need to do is break that down into a weekly number, right? And you'd set up that based on your goal. You'd set that your calories up, for example, based on that, based on also your activity levels and so forth. So for the purposes of this example, if we were going to lose 10 kilograms over 12 weeks, you could divide that into 12 weeks and that would give you a number that you could use to actually break down your calories, and you would know how much you need in terms of consuming calories to reach that goal over 12 weeks. So I believe just based on the numbers, if we did dividing 10 by 12, that would be 0.833. And we could break that down, and then you could probably aim for about a 750 calorie deficit over that time. And that would allow you, as long as you are having your training and nutrition in place, then doing training, keeping your activities levels up, and trying to achieve that as well. This is how you can break it down too. After that, then you can actually, with almost 100% certainty, you could achieve that goal over the 12 weeks. And that is an example of how you can break it down into small milestones, and you can actually celebrate that along the way. So now that you've broken the goal down into short-term goals and milestones that you can reach along the way, now you can set up the action plan that you need to actually achieve the goal. So in terms of a rough action plan that you could put together specifically for achieving this goal, what you might do is you could break that goal down, and in terms of your nutrition, your training, and also your wellness and recovery practices as well. All these different things will play a role in your ability to achieve your goal. So in the context of nutrition, what you might do is you set up your specific caloric targets that you need to achieve. In the context of this goal, that might be setting up a 750 calorie deficit in order to achieve that fat loss goal over 12 weeks. In terms of training, what you might do is you could set up 3 to 5 different workouts per week that you can complete. Obviously, this needs to be personalized to you, and you can set that up so that you can be consistent with it. And when you stick to that, that's going to help and aid you in the fat loss journey. In addition to the training, what you also might be doing is looking at things like step counts as well. So the action plan for your fat loss goal, movement plays a massive role in your ability to actually lose fat. So doing things like your favorite sports, or you might increase the step count to 10K steps, trying to get your 10,000 steps in, and trying to stay active as much as possible, and setting up specific targets that you need to achieve is going to be something that's going to help you to lose that fat and achieve the overall goal. When it comes to recovery, one thing you can do, you're making sure that you're prioritizing getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night, and you're setting up maybe mindfulness practices as well, making sure that you have enough time in between your sessions to allow your body to recover, and also so that you can go back refreshed for your new training sessions. So I'm saying a lot of this stuff right now in terms of you having to do this yourself, but I would highly recommend utilizing either softwares, utilizing a coach would be the top tier approach. It's always going to be beneficial to do this because a coach is going to work with you, hold you accountable to be able to actually achieve the goal, and do it in a way that helps you navigate the nuances throughout your life, maybe when things come up, and help you to really achieve that goal. So this is under the assumption that you're creating all of this yourself, or you might be working with a coach, or you might be using AI or using some kind of software to help you achieve that goal. This is more about the mindset behind that and how to actually set up the goals in a way that are sustainable to you and allow you to set them up and achieve them over whatever period of time you've given yourself to achieve that goal. So another important step when it comes to achieving any fitness goal is to track your progress. Absolutely paramount that you guys are tracking your progress along the way, because you can't manage what you don't measure. And if you don't measure your progress, if you don't measure any of the statistics that actually help you know whether or not you're on track, then how do you know if you're on track? So measuring the progress through MyFitnessPal, for nutrition, for example, using a tracking app for your workouts, tracking your sleep using maybe a smartwatch or something, those things are going to help you to keep track of the progress that you're making, or if you're not making progress, then you know what to adjust in order to continue making progress towards that goal. But really key thing is to make sure you're tracking all of your progress. Track as much as you can of everything you can, but I would highly recommend starting with training and nutrition, movement, and sleep. Those are going to be really key things when it comes to achieving any fitness goal. Making sure that you're tracking that progress along the way is super, super important. So the next step in the process is to hold yourself accountable and get support towards achieving your fitness goal. So many people go without getting any accountability or any support behind their goals, and they fall off track much quicker. And the actual studies show that people who have some kind of accountability and support system are much more likely to achieve their fitness goals. So whether that's in the form of a friend, a family member, a coach, or an accountability like a gym bro, a gym buddy, whatever it might be, super important towards achieving a goal, but have some kind of accountability and support system in place that helps you to achieve that goal along the way. Another super important factor when it comes to achieving your fitness goal is celebrating the milestones and celebrating the small wins along the way. So many people do not even give themselves any recognition for the progress that they've made so far. So if you are making progress in some way, shape, or form, celebrate it, because it's a reinforcing habit. This comes back to the mindset behind fitness, where you need to give yourself recognition and give yourself positive reinforcement to achieve that fitness goal. Because if you don't even recognize or give yourself any credit when you have achieved something, then when you achieve the big goal, then you're just going to be like, oh, okay, well, I got there and it's cool, but it's like there's no real celebration behind that, and it's kind of demotivating. People tend to get very demotivated when they're not celebrating any of their wins and they're not super happy about it. Also, if the goal's not super inspiring to you, that is also another sign that you're probably not going to be as accountable and you're not going to achieve the goal the way you would want, or you might not achieve it at all if you don't have some kind of system in place where you're celebrating the wins along the way. This could come in the form of, say, every kilogram that you lose, you go and celebrate, whatever it might be, that kind of thing, having some kind of system in place, or literally every day. If to break it down even further, celebrating the small wins could be literally just completing a workout, getting some movement in that day, eating a better meal, whatever it might be. It's the small things that make a big difference towards your overall goal. So make sure you keep that in mind when you are trying to achieve the fitness goal. Celebrate those small wins along the way, and you will be a lot more motivated to continue on to achieving your fitness goal. Now, you might note in the beginning of this video, I talked about setting the goals in a way that you will be able to be consistent with them. If you don't have your goal set up to be consistent with your lifestyle, something that you can manage, and using the SMART system of setting goals so that you can be consistent with it, then you're not going to stick to it. Now, in addition to that, if the goal is not meaningful to you and it has no real motivation behind it or intrinsic motivation to pull you in the direction that you want to go, then it's far less likely that you're going to be consistent with it and stick to it. You will let things like excuses and I don't have enough time, I don't have the energy, I don't have this to get in place. But the reality is we all have the same 24 hours in the day, and there's still people who are very busy who manage to get that done. The main difference between the people who still prioritize their health and fitness and achieve their fitness goals is the fact that it's meaningful to them. They have some kind of inspiring goal, or they want to avoid some kind of negative circumstance. Either way, if it's a positive or negative force that's driving you towards that goal, it has to be some kind of motivation. Otherwise, you won't stick to it. And it's plain and simple. Now, also, when it comes to challenges and things that you may potentially face when you're trying to achieve the goal, maybe you pick up injuries, maybe you plateau and you're not seeing the progress that you want. In these different situations, it's probably wise to go and seek out the help of someone who's a professional in that area, like a coach, who can help you along that track and help you to navigate the nuances, as I mentioned, the nuances of trying to achieve a goal. Because yeah, you can set a goal, you can have all these things in place that you want to achieve, but there are a lot of things in life. Life comes up, life happens, things happen, and it's really helpful to have a coach in place to help you navigate those different circumstances and be able to give you strategies and tools and knowledge to navigate the landscape and make those adjustments that you need along the way to be able to continually make progress and achieve that specific goal. So it can be really helpful when it comes to overcoming those obstacles and things that just get in the way, to have a coach, have someone there, even if it's not a coach, but have someone there in place to help you and push you through those times that are challenging. Anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for joining in. I really appreciate your time. If you've listened all the way through this, I hope you've drawn some value from this, and I hope it helped you out. Let me know what your thoughts of this in the comments are, and let me know how you've gone about achieving your fitness goals, what you've found helpful, anything that you think could be added into this as well. Love to hear your feedback on this. And if you want help with trying to achieve your fitness goals, then let me know below. I've got plenty of free workouts and plenty of programs and different tools and things, free resources that I can help you with. And if you want more of a personalized approach to fitness and to achieving your fitness goals, then feel free to check out any of the links below to my VIP coaching, and you can have a look at that, and I'll see if we can help you out. So I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.